welcome to the GOALMOUTH Podcast. You're our second, how should we say, influencer, David?
Why are you asking me?
Well, I don't know. I'm just trying to think the best way. We had Vuj on last week. He was cool.
Ah, see.
You met Vuj a few times, I take it.
Yeah, good guy, man. Yeah,
you mentioned the Dons a couple of times, actually. So
yeah, he's got a great energy. Loves his old school shirts.
He does.
Yeah.
We'll get onto that in a minute, but
yeah, man.
Let's crack on.
Old school shirts.
What was that say?
Yeah.
The
$6 million man.
Steve Austin.
Yeah.
That wasn't planned.
No?
Yeah.
Sort of slowly eased in. Let's start with you, Drew, with your music career. I want to ask, because obviously when I see you, it's Dons, but and then every so often you bring out like a bit of a freestyle, and all the footballers are going mad over it. They love it.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Is your music career something that you genuinely want to pursue, or is it just something on the side for now? Do you want to still continue it?
Yeah, do you know what it is? I mean, for me, from a young age, from the age of 15, 14, I was writing lyrics. It started from like writing poems and stuff, and then eventually me and my mates just used to kind of write lyrics and stuff, and then I started rapping, or it was grime at the time. And it's just something I've always done. I'd like to believe I was quite good at it, hence I got a decent little following, and within my area, South London, it was quite a big thing anyway. And it just done really well, and I'm trying to kind of make a long story short, like briefly managed to create sort of a following outside of South London, which took me up to whatever, 2014, 15. Then there was a few things going on in my lifestyle at the time, which I had to transition and sort myself out. And music sort of took a backseat because I wasn't making money from it, if I'm honest. Like, for me to be able to give the amount of time that I was putting into music, I wasn't seeing the thing from it. And plus, I was growing as a person and as a man. My content needed to change, and I was just figuring out who I was. But for me, to answer your question, I will always rap music. It's an expression of myself, and it's a way that I release, and I enjoy it. It's a hobby. Like, I've always said that I would make music even if I didn't get paid. If I can get paid, that's an amazing bonus. But I managed to get myself to a position in my life where I wasn't reliant on my music to feed me, if that makes sense. But to answer your question, there is music that will be coming. There's something coming up on Thursday, by the way, on GRM Daily. So that's the first single of a 3-part release. So yeah, this year we're bringing the music back. Just see what happens.
Sorry, Drew. I've deliberately played ignorance.
Yeah.
when we go in the podcast, I don't like to do homework on people because I feel like I've got to ask certain questions.
Yeah.
So you're rapping in grime, yeah?
Yeah. I was at the time. So, now it's sort of rap, grime, drill. It's all the same sort of thing now. Do you know what I mean? But I originally started as grime music.
Because I do like sound like an old man now.
Yeah.
Right. So I love hip hop. My hip hop was a different hip hop to whatever everyone calls old school. I mean, I was listening to it in the 80s. So
yeah.
I'm just curious because you're talking about changing styles, and obviously styles change even more quickly. I downloaded some music this afternoon, and it used to be hip hop, house, pop, maybe reggae. There might have been 5 or 6 genres. Now there's like reggae, hip hop, house, hip hop, whatever, blah blah blah. So I understand all that change. Do you find that you could apply your lyrics to anything?
Yeah.
Or is it the music that drives the lyrics?
It's a good question. I think I can apply my lyrics to anything, Davey. You know, I think obviously writing to grime or rap instrumentals might kind of inspire me to write something different than if I was writing to a reggae song. You know what I mean? But yeah.
So I'm a DJ.
Okay, yeah.
So I DJ. Yeah.
He is.
So I DJ. I mean, sorry, I've interrupted you.
Verified that he's.
Not just by name.
Excellent.
Because the thing that gets me, my son's one's 21, one's 26. Yeah. And they sort of flirted with music, and I keep saying to my youngest one, I said, look, just send me an a cappella.
Yeah.
And then I haven't got a studio to remix tracks, but I can DJ over or under a cappellas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I always find it's like boys, so Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
If you've got like a real deep house track or whatever the genre might be, bass lines, and you put, was it My Way? Is it My Way? What's it called?
Who from Backstreet?
I wanted that
Man,
away.
yeah.
You put that on a bass track. Oh man, it's kicking.
Goes
So
off,
the lyrics don't matter to the music. You can add, and that's sorry, I'm going off on one of my tangents here, but I love the idea that lyrics are transferable.
Yeah.
And thanks. That's it.
Drew,
definitely.
Drew, you're on a podcast, right, with former England goalkeeper David James talking about Backstreet Boys.
I know.
What he's like.
It's crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
It's my karaoke song. It's my karaoke song. Right?
Is that your karaoke song? What's yours, Drew? Have you got like a
karaoke song? Wow. I'd like to think I'd give it a go at anything, but probably karaoke after a few Hennessy's might be a bit of Bob Marley.
Nice.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, a bit of Bob, maybe. Yeah, man.
Anything Westlife, mate. Love him.
So why have I gone for Backstreet Boys then? Westlife.
Oh, mate, I love him. Brilliant. Much better than Boyzone.
Yeah.
I was going to. So we was talking about your music career taking off, but obviously that's kind of like projects on the side. I guess you're just doing it because you love doing music, and if it kicks off, it kicks off. Do you think the platform that you've built now, on the football side of things, would help propel that in the long run anyway? Because obviously you've done some shows as well, haven't you? Off the back of Don, create those shows which sold out and smashed it.
Exactly,
so.
No, definitely. I think they married with each other because I was obviously formerly only recognised for my music, and obviously my music all my lyrics was kind of football based a lot. That's how I built sort of like a lot of football followers that like my stuff. But I think what my problem was before SE Dons was that I wasn't so active on my social media. I wasn't too comfortable being on camera, and I feel as though my supporters, they didn't get to know me as a person, kind of thing. I'm not so as aggressive, or that my lyrics might have came across, and the people I was around at the time. So I think with the Dons, it's allowed me to get my character across to the point people can think, oh, you know what, I actually like the guy, he's all right. And I think it's helped me because I'm... Yeah, do you know what I mean, David?
It's helpful, isn't it?
I used to have a skinhead back then and anything. I think I looked a bit, didn't look so approachable. So I think with the whole SE Dons thing, it showed a complete different aspect to me as a person. And at the same time as well, I don't need to look for something to stay relevant, if that makes sense. I'm on YouTube every single week, every Sunday, do you know what I mean? And I just think they help each other. I think with my music, I've now got a following who are SE Dons who are so loyal that I can probably put out a rubbish song and they'll be like, oh yeah, Don Strapzy's song is sick. Do you know what I mean? So they get behind everything we do, and it helps. When we got 100k subscribers, I done a show where I married the music with the football, and I remember I was singing what was that? What's that? SE Dons, or like la 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 la, and the crowd was going off like some sort of football stadium. Do you know what I mean? As opposed to when I was doing my lyrics, not everyone knew it. Do you know what I mean? So cool. I think it's married it together, man.
And you've had some obviously pro ballers as well. They sort of listen to your music, put it on in the changing rooms and that. Who have we for David's? Just so you give David an idea who's sort of listening. Yeah. Drop some names for me.
Declan Rice is a massive supporter. He came to our cup final as well. Declan Rice. Declan Rice. He came.
He was doing it. I don't know if you saw. He did an interview after the game this week. Was it the weekend? Last weekend? Man, that guy talking about people talking about personalities.
Yeah.
Look at him on the field. He's like dead serious all the time, isn't he? And then he was talking afterwards, having a laugh with I think Jamie Carragher and that.
Yeah,
man,
nice.
He was top draw.
He's proper, man. He's got a bit about him, man, and he's a humble guy. Because like I said, he came to one of our cup finals, my Sunday League side, and he was in our dugout. And they weren't letting him stay there. And I was like, do you know who this guy is? He's making him go stand in the stands with people that are going to bombard him. But, yeah, I mean, Declan Rice, Lingard, Iwobi, Rashford, Junior Stanislas, loads of people, man. I'm very grateful. Like, they proper support. And it's not like I send it to them. They just authentically, they show some love. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
That's decent. And these guys have come over on Sunday, 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah, man. Not all of them, but like, do you know what I mean? They've been there on the sideline, and it's amazing, really, when I think about it.
Yeah, cool. Did he give anyone any stick?
Declan Rice?
Yeah.
Nah, our skipper gave him stick. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Hey, listen, all the nice things I said about Declan, he's not a proper fan. When you go to games, you've got to give someone some stick, even a referee.
Okay. No, to be fair, he just took it on the chin. Like, I think it was me giving them stick. I was like, they was kicking him out of the dugout, make him go stand in the stands. I couldn't believe it. But yeah, man.
Rice, man.
I remember that. I remember that final. Just so
Yeah.
we'll get onto Dons in a minute, but that final, how many people turned up for bearing in mind it's a Sunday League Football Cup final?
Yeah. So I think it was accounted for at 2,500.
Which is more than most non-league games.
Yeah, 2,500, and then 2 weeks later we had Sorry, Dave. Go on.
You know, just because quickly say that's more than the Icelandic Premier League home games.
Yeah, it was outstanding. And then 2 weeks later we had the final at Bromley, and that was just over 3,000. They had to put the kickoff back. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
I'm going to jump onto some football firsts. So we're going to take it right back to when you was a wee nipper. I'll actually put this to both of you, really, because I don't think I've got yours, David. But I want to talk about earliest memories of football. What's your first, when you think football when you was younger, what's the first thing you think of? What's your earliest memory of it?
My earliest memory would be something basic like playing football in the garden with my dad. Yeah. In terms of actual professional football, my dad used to take me to Crystal Palace every week because my dad was a coach for Crystal Palace. So I used to get all tickets every week. So I used to go watch Crystal Palace every week. And I just remember watching Georgie Kincladze when Man City came and played against them.
That guy.
Ah, man. I was only a kid. I can't remember my age.
That guy.
Yeah, Georgie Kincladze was outstanding, yeah. But I think, my dad taking me to watch Crystal Palace was probably one of my earliest memories of actual, professional football.
Okay. David?
Yeah. So you grew up around football then, essentially?
Yeah. I used to play football. Up until about the age of 14, I was in Charlton Athletics School of Excellence. So it was just before the academy. I never quite got to the academy. And then around the age of 14, David, I started getting a bit sidetracked. And I didn't really follow on with pursue my football career, do you know what I mean? I went into music, to be fair. But yeah, before that, I was always playing Sunday League football as a child and up playing for my county and stuff and things like that. Yeah, man.
What about you, David? I know we had a chat originally, but what was your
No, we didn't talk about this. I mean, my first memory of anything football related would be, how old was I? About 6, 7 years old. I used to live with my grandparents, and
I'm still 6'2".
Someone, and someone kicking a ball on the green in front of where my grandparents lived, but I had no understanding about what it was.
Yeah.
And then my first football, how did this work? I'm sure it was a cup final or something like that. I want to go back to 79 or 78. I think I was still obviously a kid then, but Arsenal Man United cup final.
Okay.
Because like the FA Cup final, it used to be. You two are far too young to appreciate.
No, I remember.
Yeah, but there was 3 channels on telly, and one of them was dedicated to the FA Cup.
Wow.
So it became like a social event. Everyone would gather around the TV and watch the FA Cup. The helicopter following the bus and all that stuff. So I just seem to remember this match with these people in it. And then my first game, I think my uncle, who was a Luton Town fan, took me to watch Luton. Some guy stopped the car in front of him, wanted to fight, and we ended up going to the game. Can't remember who it was, what it was, and that was it. So I was like 10 years old then. So
who do you support,
David?
Late
developer, Luton Town.
Oh wow!
Oh, because of my uncle. Because when I grew up, at 10 years old, I wasn't into football. Or 9 years old, I wasn't into football. My uncle took me. I joined the first club, Welling Pegasus. They used to go to Luton Town as well, and I was at Kenilworth Road, the Oak Road end, cheering for the opposition because I didn't know what I was watching.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there was less people than your cup finals there. So I didn't get my head panned in, but Luton Town. So I just thought you support the team that you used to go and watch. Yeah. Unlike you, who used to be a Crystal Palace watcher, and now you're...
Nah, to be fair, I feel like I've got a relevant excuse. My dad's from Manchester, so his whole family is from Manchester. So as a child, I guess that's all I knew. All I knew was Man United.
So you used to drive to Selhurst Park, and your dad would say, "Right, Drew, listen, this team are rubbish. Manchester United are the best team. We'll take you to watch these, and once a season you can watch Man United."
Something like that, yeah. Nah, Palace was down as my London club, but my heart was always Man United. But I've always had stick for it. Always.
Do you know what's ironic about this? My mum bought my first football kit
Yeah.
So I've got a younger brother, a year younger than me. She bought an Adidas, like, it's retro, classic Adidas sort of football shirt with nothing on it, and a Man United kit. I took the Man United kit because it had a badge on it. I didn't even know who they were.
Yeah.
But fortunately, it was lost very early.
It's one of those things.
Never a fan.
Never got a photo, and it didn't come up in the papers years later when you played for Liverpool or anything like that.
Yeah.
You see that Harry Kane photo, didn't you, in an Arsenal kit when he was younger?
Oh, really?
All the time, yeah. It's always floating about. But that was what I was going to ask actually. Next photo, so we got David's first ever shirt. Drew, can you remember?
I think it was the black, because it had Hughes on the back. The Black Man United shirt, away shirt.
ViewCam, wasn't it?
Sharp, yeah, that's it. With the yellow gold sponsor across the front. I think that was my first one. That I can remember. But I might be wrong. But I think that's what sticks in my mind.
Was that 93, 94?
Yeah, because I had the red one.
I'm born in 1990.
Collar. Do you remember the little collar, the little do-up one? And then they had the black one. But it didn't say Sharp. It said Sharp ViewCam. It was a slightly different sponsor. I think it was like a specific thing.
Yeah.
I'm good with my kits. I remember everything.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to start doing some videos on kits. But all right. So we've done first shirts and favourite player. So growing up, was it Mark Hughes? Was that, or was that just?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. My favourite player growing up was. It depends because. Roy Keane was one of my favourite players. Definitely Roy Keane. And I like Giggsy, but again, when did Cristiano Ronaldo come to United? What year was that? Does anyone know?
2000 it's early 2000s, isn't it? Sort of like 2000.
It's early, isn't it? That's what I mean. Because I remember like again, I was 8 when we won the treble. So obviously Yorkie and Cole, but I really sort of grew up watching Ronaldo. I kind of caught Ronaldo from early. Do you know what I mean? But before that, it was Roy Keane was my man. Roy Keane and Paul Scholes. I was proper into them too.
I reckon it was about just off the top of my head, it would have been about 2004.
Okay, so I'd have been at 13.
No, 2002, 3 maybe.
I got it here. 2003 to 2009 he was there.
All right,
cool, was he there that long?
Yeah, he smashed it.
Yeah, he was there a while. We managed to hold on to him for a few extra years.
Didn't get 100 goals though.
No, didn't he?
No, 84.
Yeah.
Still decent.
Yeah,
Really good. What was... You would have come across...
like Cristiano Ronaldo when he was at United.
You would have come across Scholesy and Keane in your days. What were they like to sort of play against?
It's funny, actually, because Scholesy, I didn't really notice too much. That might sound a bit bizarre, because obviously playing in the midfield role. However, he did score some goals against me.
Just a few. Did you play with him at England?
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, you ask the Man United players, especially likes of Rio, they'll say he was the best player ever. And I did hear a story, and I can only say it's a story that I've heard, so you can take this on whatever value you want. But he was offered a move to Inter Milan.
Inter Milan, I heard, yeah.
Who were the best team in Europe at the time. And his response was, "Why would I want to go there?" Which I
think I read something about him saying he didn't even have an agent, because he wasn't interested in leaving the club. Yeah,
he's proper decent bloke. I have to say that. Playing wise, the same. Apart from they've let the most goals in the Premier League, so I think everyone's got a claim to have probably scored against me. So that's no big deal. But he was good. Giggsy was scary.
Okay, yeah. Because how good was Giggsy? Because I mean, I did see him. But I feel as though, because we're in a day and age now where people they're not putting enough respect on the old school players. Like, my dad tells me that Giggsy was something different.
Yeah, well, I recently did a best 11, and actually he didn't get any opposition. He didn't get any opposition because Thierry Henry was in there. But Steve McManaman was the same. And
McManaman's another one.
Yes. Yeah. But you have to. And I sat with my son. This is how bizarre it was. I sat with my son a few years. My younger son. He was. It must be about 5-6 years ago. When Tottenham were in the League Cup final. How long was that? 15 years ago.
All right, calm down.
What was it? I said to my son, yeah, we won that in 95 before he was born. So yeah, won that in 95. And I got the video up on YouTube. 13 minutes video highlights. Steve McManaman was on a different planet. And I didn't appreciate it at the time. It's one of those things you look back at it and go, it's a bit like watching Maradona. Everyone knows that Maradona's fantastic, and then but you have to actually watch him play and go, now I get it, because no one else could do what he was doing. Giggsy was like that. He was doing things on the field that no one else was doing.
Yeah,
decent player, and obviously he got his move. To be fair, I forget about McManaman at times, but he got that move to Real Madrid. And
Real Madrid,
you know what I mean? So
he done alright there, didn't he?
Yeah, 2 Champions League. He didn't do bad.
Didn't do too bad. Drew, Man United then, are you, now, this day and age, are you still invested as what you were back in the day, or you...
Do you know what, Smiv, yeah? Before this whole lockdown came into place, I was pretty much over it. I wasn't really, if I'm so honest, I don't really watch professional football. I find it so boring. Do you know what I mean? I grew up, I was a United fan to the point where if we draw or drop points, it affects my weekend. Do you know what I mean? Right. I was that heavily invested into it. And I guess with SC Dons coming in, and I genuinely love SC Dons, Smith. Do you know what I mean? I really support SC Dons. That's my football. So I kind of came away from United, especially after Fergie, and I just felt like we just lost the club a bit, and I just really came away. A lot of my friends play non-league football, and I kind of find that more interesting. Do you know what I mean? But like I said, with the lockdown, I've kind of been forced to kind of get back invested with United. And now that Ollie's come in, it just gives me feels of the United that I grew up with. When I see Mike Feely in the dugout, I see Carrick there. We've got Fletcher involved now. I'm starting to think, you know what? Originally, I was thinking, look, Ole's not the man. But I'm at a point now where I just support the club. And it's like, when I see Ollie, I see United. I know that he loves the club. I know he knows what it means to play for the club. Will we ever get back to what we once were? I don't know. But I have lost a bit. I used to know everyone. I was one of them weirdos in school. I knew every footballer. I knew everyone. But I could walk past professional footballers now and not know who they are. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't tell you. So I couldn't, bro. I couldn't. I can tell you United's starting lineup, but I probably couldn't tell you anyone else's.
So you sound like me. You sound like me lining up for a match.
Yeah.
Seriously, I didn't know half the players I was playing against.
Yeah, or with.
I knew my own teammates. But
Yeah.
Last season at Portsmouth, it was a little bit more difficult because I think flipping revolving door the amount of players that came in.
What was it? You didn't like football, David, or was it? What was it? Just there to play it? Wasn't really interested in what's going on. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, just play.
I mean, I'm not sure whether Smith's going to ask you the question, but because now you've got notoriety, and as you say, people are interested in what you do as a club or as an individual even. So with Premier League football, I used to watch it. I was playing it, and I'd sort of get some sort of feedback from what I was watching. In the end, I was like, a bit like before we first started talking about Henderson. I'm listening to these people talking about the game with authority, haven't got a clue what they're talking about, and I'll be like, I can't listen to this. I can't listen to commentators during a game not being able to analyse what I'm seeing. And it was almost like, as people often say, you're better off turning the TV commentary off and listening to the radio. Yeah. Because they describe the game better. Anyway, in your position now, you've got people who are commenting on what you're doing. How does that feel? Because in the beginning, it would have just been, look, this is it, enjoy it. Whereas now it's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah,
how does that feel?
It's crazy. I mean, I think for me, because of my music, and I've been making music on YouTube since I was about 19, so I've been used to criticism. Do you know what I mean? So I sort of like to believe I have thick skin when the negative comments come in. But in terms of positive, and I'd say it's 95%, 90% positive. It's amazing. It's amazing because I mean, a lot of these boys I grew up with, and to be able to have created a platform for a lot of my friends who are really talented footballers and didn't make it in their footballing career, or just my other friends that just always been a great player, and they're getting followers, they're getting brand opportunities, they're getting some sort of love for what they're doing. It's amazing. Do you know what I mean? As I'm getting older, I'm sort of finding myself more. I'm not even good enough to play for the team anymore, David James. You know what I mean? I done my ACL a couple of years ago, and I can't really get back in the team, but I'm finding myself getting more kind of happiness from being able to give, as opposed to, oh, I'm playing, I need to start. And no, or Boots come in and they're sick, but I like you need them, and it kind of makes me feel good about myself and everything that's going on. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Like we genuinely have supporters that support SC Dons. Do you know what I mean? And it's mad. It's mad.
When does it end?
It's a good question. Does it end? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. All I know is at the moment what we're doing is it's breaking. It's just changing the game in many ways. Like grassroots football. There's so much eyes on grassroots football now, and the game we all love. We all grew up playing grassroots football, and the fact that there's people coming out on a Sunday morning to watch a game in a park is just ridiculous. But it's also beautiful because, like I said, the connection lost in professional football is just so... They're superstars, aren't they, now, professional footballers? They're not human beings, they're superstars. And it's like, people can come watch the Dons and you can touch us. When you see me walking down the road in Lewisham High Street, and it's just giving people, especially where out like in South London and the community, there's actually a Sunday League community now. There always has been, but there really is a big Sunday League community, especially where I'm from. Like, it's proper rivals. Like, we're playing our mates from Peckham, we're from Lewisham, and it's like, we really want to beat them. Like, we really want to beat them. It's not a joke. They really want to beat us, and it's like, it's bragging rights in the area. It's just, I love it. I can't buzzing to get back.
Is it? I mean, again, sorry, Smith, I'm asking all the questions here.
No,
I'm fascinated because when you say rivalry, is it on the basis of like my team's better than you, or does it go deeper than that and it becomes arguably a social problem?
It's probably a bit of both, because I think definitely my team's better than you is always, we're competitive by nature. I think that might be a South London thing. I don't know. We're just very competitive. And in terms of like the social problems, I mean, Lewisham and a lot of my friends have been to prison. Do you know what I mean? And they're playing for the team, and they've come out. And look, we've all got pasts. You know what I mean? And for example, like I said, we're from Lewisham. We're heavily Lewisham based. Lewisham and Greenwich, Peckham and Brixton are close areas, and we used to have feuds with them away from football. If I'm so honest with you, and the fact that we can play them now on a football pitch and shake hands after the game is just amazing, because it's communities that really went at it in a real way, and we're now able.
Sorry, and again, sorry interrupting you there. That's where I was going with it, because you know, historically you'd have local rivals playing.
Yeah,
and
of course.
End up with a big fight at the end of the match.
Yeah.
But what you're describing, is that what you're creating, or what everyone's creating, is actually a better environment socially.
100%, 100%. But not everyone understands it, because listen, there's always there's them kind of games when we play certain teams. There's always going to be a push and a shove, always. But there's never been a fight. There's never been a punch up at one of our games. Never. It can come across as a bit aggressive and they make a lot of noise, but that's just how we are. Like when we play FIFA with our mate, if I'm beating you 7-0, I'm gonna make you want to throw away your PlayStation. Do you know what I mean? That's just how we are. And I think you either like it or you don't. But we're just being who we are. And I think the fact we've got such a huge following shows that there's authenticity in it, and there's a lot of positive in it. If you really want to deep and talk about it, if you have time to talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it, you might point us aside as a bunch of hooligans making noise, abusing referees, doing this, doing that, chatting rubbish throughout games. If you really look at the nucleus of where we've come from, what we're doing for our community, you'll have to understand there's a lot of positive that's going on here. It's Sunday League football, man. Like, and the boys are buzzing to play Sunday League on a rubbish pitch. You know what I mean? And it's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, my eldest son, he was playing Sunday League. I'm sure it's Sunday, yeah. And I'd go and watch him play every now and again. And we didn't have thousands of people there, of course. It was just pretty much.
I'm surprised they didn't get you to put your gloves on, Dave.
Yeah. No. Actually, the goalie was dead serious when I was warm up with him one time, and it was like getting all. But the thing about it is, like you say, people don't appreciate it. What grassroots offers is so many different layers.
Definitely.
And at the moment, the conversation, I'm going to jump on my soapbox now, but the conversation at the moment is that grassroots all about 6, 7, 8-year-old kids who want to be the next Harry Kane, and it's not. You know, your guys aren't the next Harry Kane, for example. Maybe one of them shines and becomes one, whatever, the next Jamie Vardy. But the fact that your teams can settle what would have been an awkward social interaction by playing a game of football, shake hands at the end of it,
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
That's fantastic.
Powerful, yeah.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
That's the bit like you said. People don't want to talk about. They just go, "Oh, look at those guys over there."
Yeah.
But without it, you go back to the status quo. And the status quo is you've got rivals in different areas who, when they meet, don't know each other, don't engage on any other level. Yeah,
exactly.
Fantastic.
Exactly. And like a lot of the time, it's like these cup finals. Like this is our Champions League final. Do you know what I mean? This is our FA Cup final. This is our Manchester derby. It really is. And like I'm a 30-year-old man with one knee, yeah, and I get the opportunity to be Donny Jones, and this is I love the club, all that stuff. I never got the opportunity to do that in the real game. Do you know what I mean? So that's what it is. We all love football, and it's just our way. Sunday League is where we found like this is ours. Do you know what I mean? And we want to make it as good as we can, and we're not ashamed of that. Do you know what I mean? We're not ashamed to say, listen, we're the best, and we want to do everything. If we looked at as bunch of jokers, then cool. Do you know what I mean? But that's just kind of we're enjoying it. Do you know what I mean?
It's crazy because I think a lot of people look in that aren't familiar. Like they're kind of like, I don't know. It's your typical fan with a Twitter bio with a player as their picture, and they're named after someone. And they would look at like you guys that are celebrating a Sunday League Cup win, and they would just be very blasé about it. But until you've done it, you don't get it. You really don't get it. Like I've had some good days in my life. I'm lucky to say that. But when Palmer's won the Essex Cup, like that's like people don't get it, and I try to explain it all the time. That's our ceiling. That is our Champions League.
And that's a big cup to win. That is, like Essex.
We could not get any higher than that, and we were underdogs as well. We was up against up against a side like you lot. To be fair.
Yeah, I saw it. I remember. I saw it. I watched it.
And like honestly, it wasn't expected, and we just absolutely smashed it that day, and it was one of the best days. I can look back and we've got the photos, and you're just like still buzzing from it.
Memories.
And we can still say because of lockdown, like we've missed the last two competitions, so our name's still the last ones, and it's the same for you guys. We're still the last ones on the Ken Cup. So we're always joking about
Yeah.
If you said to someone in the street, it's like, oh yeah, we're best team in Essex, or for you, best team in Kent. It's like, all right, cool. But people don't get it. They don't get it.
They don't understand.
Filming the games, and then until people see it, they might start to understand. And I think what we've done, and obviously what you've taken on and gone a lot further with, is just like it's brilliant. I wanna start with SC Dons from the beginning. What was it that made you whip a camera out and go, yeah, let's do this?
Yeah. So we had SC Dons. Like, we started SC Dons in 2014. But again, we've been playing Sunday League football. Do you know what I mean? Probably like yourself, we've been playing for years, way before the cameras.
Yeah.
But originally, I brought the cameras out in 2017 because, again, like I said, I was heavily focused on my music at the time, and I needed a way to engage with my audience. Like, because this when Instagram just came around and everyone was doing vlogs and everything. I said, look, Chris, I'll come film my boys on a Sunday. Like, it goes off every week. There's always something going on. Do you know what I mean? 5 minutes before kickoff, everyone's turning up. It's proper Sunday League back then. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So I said, look, come and film it. So we filmed a couple, and I put it out on YouTube, and it just took off. It just took off, honestly. And I realised, it's not even about me. Of course, I might be the figurehead. I might be the initial attraction for people to come and see Don Strapzy play football. But it became bigger than that because all the characters showed themselves, and it was just Sunday League football. And I said, you know what? This is working, and we just continued since then, and we haven't stopped since February 2017. There's been an upload every single Sunday. Do you know what I mean? And it's just grown and grown.
Did you get the late one, joining in the end of the warm up?
Oh, of course, we had it all. I think I've had a game in goal. I've played in goal. We've had it all. My brother used to be in goal. One time he had no gloves and no shirt, so he had to wear a bib and some garden gloves. Against some team called Municipal Lambeth, some Colombian guys. They beat us 6-0, 6-1. 6 goals in the first half. Second half we scored 1 and celebrated like we won the league. So we've had some memories, man. Honestly,
there needs to be like a Sunday League bingo, like where people throw scenarios out there, because I bet like between us, it's happened. Like the craziest thing you could think of.
Everything you can imagine.
Like,
everything you can imagine.
We were. I think our funniest one was probably the best one, but we turned up with 8 guys. 2 of them were injured. 1 of them was on crutches, and just to field a team, because I think the minimum is 7 before you have to forfeit.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, we want to play. Like, we're up against a half decent side. We've only got 8 men. 1 of them had crutches. He's hobbled on, And I just said, stand in the centre circle, mate, until the keeper turns up. Keeper turns up, he's not feeling it. So our other goalkeeper had to go up front. We're playing against, we've eventually got 10 men against 11 for the whole game. Somehow it's 1-1 for the whole way through. Last minute, corner flies in, and our goalkeeper scores the winner. And it's just like,
you can't rate it. You can't rate it. You can't. And I think that's why they connect to it, though, Smith. That's why they connect to it, even for Palmer's. Like, I used to watch. I've always been a fan of Palmer's. You know what I mean? Because it does show the two. Like Palmer's that's the Essex side. We're different, but it's Sunday League football. And it's like I used to watch Palmer's, and I'd be in tears sometimes. It's just like, I get it. You can't write this, and I think that's why people do take to it, because you as you said, you cannot write this. So you're watching it, and it's like, hold on, what's going to happen next? Because anything can happen.
Anything can happen. That's crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
And I think people, again, we'll go back to those fans that have just primarily sort of just watched Premier League football. It's very easy for them to fall in love with Sunday League because of that. You know, anything can happen. Whereas with a Premier League game, it's in an enclosed stadium. You know, it's officiated. It's
everyone, even in the interview, you know what someone's going to say. It's always this. It's just boring, isn't it? Yeah, he's just scored 6 goals, and it's all about the team, mate. It's like, come on, man.
Just happy we've got 3 points.
Yeah.
Which is why
they made it different.
It's great when players like Zlatan turn up and it's like, well, I am the best.
Yeah, you love it. You love it. You know, even Haaland's got a bit about him, isn't he? That Haaland, he's got a bit of something about him.
I
don't know, from what...
I found myself down a wormhole the other day watching Haaland interviews. It's so funny because he was just like... he was like, what? He
just
walks off.
Yeah. He seems like he's got something. I mean, I've not seen enough, but I've come across them compilations and think, he seems to have something about him. But Zlatan, people like Zlatan, Eric Cantona, people like that, you don't get them.
Mad.
Was you in goal, David, for the FA Cup final?
He was.
Was it you in goal? Yeah.
Which one?
Eric Cantona, 1-0, Liverpool.
Oh, that one.
FA Cup final. That was probably my first time I came across you. I remember that game going. It was such a boring game, and then Cantona bagged in the last minute. Yeah.
He says it's a problem with a goal kick because more than often they're remembered for letting the goals in rather than doing the good things. Of course, unfortunately. But I mean, you had some moments.
Tough position.
You had some good moments, I'm sure.
It's all about the highlights. Yeah? The goal is only really great if it's a 0-0 draw and he makes loads of saves.
Yeah.
Or last minute save. You want to be remembered. Save late. That's it.
Yeah.
All right. So from Premier League back down to grassroots. This, I guess, it's still in its infancy. If you took the years into it, but like the YouTube football scene, what are you thinking at the moment? Like, where's it going? What do you think?
Again, I don't know. I just know that I'm seeing loads of teams pop up now. But
so many.
You know what I mean? So many. But I do think it's more than just bringing out your camera, Smith, and filming a game. Do you know what I mean? Because there is some teams that I'll watch it, and it's like, for example, if I wanted to watch fantastic football with nothing, I'd watch Match of the Day. Do you know what I mean? So I think with the Dons, I can't lie, we have got ourselves to a point. We are elite. We are an elite side. I reckon we could definitely chuck it amongst the lower levels of semi-professional football, like a Ryman South. Do you know what I mean? I really believe that. That's the level we're at, but also that's the level of the league we're playing in, like Lambeth All Stars and Kenningwell, and some of the teams in it. It's a very, very, very good standard. You wouldn't believe it's Sunday League football. Do you know what I mean?
No.
Obviously, as you go further down, you'll realise. But I think for these teams that are filming themselves now, great, because there's a scene, and why not? They've obviously seen that there's a market. But I do think that it has to be more than just filming your game and putting it up. Like with you, Smith, when I used to watch Palmer's, it was your typical Sunday League side. Typical, by typical, I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It's just typical.
No, we love it.
My brother, I used to play for my brother's team. Yeah, it was a pub team, Horn Park. I used to play with them, and it was pretty much like Palmer's. It's like you don't know if you're going to get 11 players there, but your commentary is amazing in terms of you got the witty. I can listen to your commentary. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I think I have that effect with my commentary. If you watch the Dons, I have an element of humour. It's important because I've also watched. I've watched other YouTube teams, and the commentary makes me switch it off. I can't watch it. So I think as a package, you got to package it more. But as a scene, it's growing. It's 1,000,000% growing.
Absolutely.
The question is always going to be: is there going to be a YouTube league? Is there going to be something? It's obviously heading in that direction.
I was just going to ask that.
We spoke about it a while ago, didn't we? Sort of potentially happening.
It's definitely heading in that direction. It's just got to be.
Do you think that's good? I don't want to put you on a spot because you might be controversial in the response, but the reason I was going to ask the question is because when I asked you, where does it end? When I say end, that's probably the wrong term. What is the trajectory on this? Because if you create the YouTube League, then all of a sudden it becomes a monster that needs feeding.
Exactly.
Because what you got into it for then actually gets surpassed because you're actually having to feed this monster essentially week in, week out.
Yeah, because I mean, a YouTube League, if done correctly, with the right people backing it and the right governing body or whatever runs with it, it will rival. It can rival Saturday football. It will rival it. It will, because the era that we live in, everything's on YouTube. Kids look at the Dons players. They genuinely think we're celebrities. Do you know what I mean? They're generally starstruck when they see us, and that's because they're growing up watching YouTube. I remember when I was growing up watching Channel U, and some of the people and their artists I saw who was from that Deptford or Lewisham, I'd see them and think, I can't believe it's him. Do you know what I mean? He's only Rem from round the corner. So I reckon a YouTube League, if done correctly, will definitely rival the professional game. It will, if done right. Us at the Dons, I wouldn't rule it out. Do you know what I mean? But it's got to be right. It has to be done right. It has to, because for us, we're very proud to be Sunday League. It's our niche. It's who we are. And we've still got things to do there. We haven't technically dominated Sunday League football on the pitch. Off the pitch, we're doing a great job. But on the pitch, we've still got some work to do.
So I'm just curious now. Sorry, and again, Smith, I'm going off one of my tangents. So let's put it into the ideal world with regards to a YouTube League.
Yeah.
That's going to generate some serious money.
Some serious money, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but then all of a sudden, the Premier League players or the elite footballers who earn loads of money.
But that's my point.
The YouTube players will be earning that sort of money, and you'll be getting essentially Premier League players, and your football arguably will end up the same as the Premier League, and you'll have suffered the problems that you sought to. That
Premier League football's happened. Yeah, I mean, and that's what I'm trying to say. For something to happen like that, it has to be done right. Whoever the board is that's running it has to understand it's not Saturday's professional Premier League football. But like you said, something like a YouTube League happens. How long will it be before, like you said, big money is pumped in because they're seeing the amount of views and the sponsorships and all that, to the point where, hold on, the next big news is young professional footballer signs for a YouTube side instead of going to, do you know what I mean? And then, as you said, when does it get to the point where you're having interviews and you can't speak your mind? It's becoming like that, and that's what we don't want.
Because the money's coming from organisations which don't allow you to speak what you want. I mean, it's interesting because I'm just thinking when you're talking about gaming. So when I was at Liverpool, I got a load of stick for playing computer games. Yeah. And now they're paying six-figure digits to people to play computer games. Sat in their bedroom literally for 18 hours, 16 hours a day just to be good enough to earn money. And it's kind of...
Exactly.
It becomes like an uncontrollable monster, doesn't it? But I think, listen, at the same time, you're in a position where you could talk about where it could go, rather than starting it out, having no people watching it, and we're not talking to you anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
we wouldn't be here.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the sort of the beautiful thing is I haven't got the answers. I don't know. I can't tell you where it's going to be in the next 5 years. I just know that it's going like that. And I know that we will be involved in wherever it goes. Do you know what I mean? But it's just the way life is going.
Do you think it's going like that for you and a couple of the other big names, or do you think? What I was trying to say. Do you think it's getting a bit oversaturated for, like, let's say a team comes in, they might have a bit of personality about them, they might have a good editor, have a good. But do you think it's like, is it too late for a team with starting from scratch to make it? Or do you think there's still time?
I never think anything's too late. I think that it's a market. Like I said, it's a market. If you really have a businessman, you think, you know what, I'm going to get a team together and film it. But then I think the beauty of teams like Palmer's and the Dons, we didn't come into this with that as a plan, Smith. I don't know about yourself, but I didn't. I mean, I know you. Do you know what I'm point? It wasn't. I didn't sit down with a team and say, all right, we're going to create a Sunday League side. We're going to film this. We're going to take you, Doug. You're going to be the guy that... It didn't work like that. It's just... Chris is my best friend from the age of 14. He's our cameraman. Do you know what I mean? That's why everyone's so... I guess that's why our character shines so well, because I've also where I've been at video shoots and stuff, I've been with cameramen who are like corporate people, and I'm not comfortable. I can't really be myself. Do you know what I mean? So I reckon I never think anything's too late. I think we're in an era where if you're not trying to make money online, like, what are you doing? Do you know what I mean? So I think with someone like the Dons, the Sunday League football, the eyes are on Sunday League football 1,000,000%. I mean, I know for a fact our league has benefited from it, because when we're doing these cup finals, Lord knows what they're bringing in on their purse.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? And the amount of clubs that are now wanting to play Sunday League football. Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Better go easy on our yellow card fines. But other than that, I don't know, man. It is growing. It is growing, and good luck to anyone that wants to get involved. But it's as you know, Smiv, this is full time. It's a lot of work.
You've got like the manager, the coach, the person that brings the water, the person that does the kit washing, and now you've got the cameraman and the editor, and it's crazy how like we've added these things without even, you know what I mean? Like we didn't choose to do this, and we didn't choose for it to take off, but because it's so relatable and so down to earth, it's kicked off, and like. Yeah, kind of proud to be fair, like what we've achieved, right?
Definitely, and I said before as well, Smiv, like you are the forefather of it. This of it, right? Do you know what I mean? You are, bro. You are, and I think, Godfather, yeah. I went, yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because I was watching Palmer's before I filmed Desi Dons. I was watching Palmer's. I thought this is sick, because I was that kid that used to go on YouTube and type in Sunday League tackles. Like that's what I mean. I would just type it in. I'd see something nuts, and I think I came across Palmer's one time. I said, "Oh, this is sick, man!" And technically, I was watching. I remember one time, Smiv, when you was, I think you was annoyed with the boys or something. You had like a team talk at the start. And you said, "Listen, I'm filming you bunch of average players." Do you know what I mean? And people are watching it, and you know what I mean. And it's true. I remember watching it thinking, they're rubbish. But it's like, and I mean that in such a nice way, Smiv. I was like, these lot are rubbish, and it's like, you know what? This reminds me so much of when I play with my brother Mickey on a Sunday, and his mate Dave is knackered from work the day before, and it's like, you're shocking, but we love it, do you know what I mean? And they win 2-1, and it means the world, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's a good thing, man. It's I don't know. It's just a beautiful thing, Sunday League football. I think
it's only positive what we've done. You can't. I don't think you can say it's a negative thing. Obviously, you've got your critics and your haters for seeing it. They'll see a thumbnail with a fight on it, and they'll be like, "Oh, yeah. Promoting." But actually, it's just probably that was the thing that happened in that game that best represents it.
Exactly.
There's so many other good things out of like 600 videos that we've done. I would say I would count the top 10 where it's kicked off. But other than that, you see some good football at times. You see some crap football, and I think it just paints a good story of Sunday League. Yeah. I was going to ask.
Yeah, but Smith. Smith, it's relatable.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It is, and that's what it is. That's what it is.
And you get it all the time. I've done so many sort of podcasts and chats with people about like, oh, how did it start? What was this and what's that? And why do you think it works? And I guess we would have exactly the same answer. It's exactly that. It's relatable. Yeah. And just like you would watch us and go, like, I get it. That's why you're still watching.
That's my point. It's relatable, and it's not scripted, is it, Smith? Do you know what I mean? It's not.
No.
That's, I think, what it is. It's just you bring the camera and you catch it, and it's like people. You can't. I don't think you can sit down and. You can't not like. If you like football, I reckon you would like it. If you're a football man, I don't know why you wouldn't like it, unless you're so against that. Sunday League, it's rubbish football. You should play here, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? But other than that, who can't relate to a Sunday morning football game in a park? Do you know what I mean? And it's fun. It's got to be funny when you're looking at someone and they're banging their chest about it's just a Sunday League team. Why do you love it so much? And it's like, I can't explain that to you. I can't tell you why we do. It's just it's ours. It's ours, and we own it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it means a lot. Yeah, do you know what I mean? So literally,
I think with your mates as well, it feels that much more special.
Exactly.
And you see all these teams that are like, and no disrespect to them, like they've seen what we've done and gone, we can do this, and I know a load of good players. They might not know each other, so they're bringing together a very cold situation where people have got to get to know each other, and the
that's what it is.
Camera, film, we're good, we're going to win everything, therefore everyone's going to watch us. But it doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
because if there's no chemistry.
Yeah.
You know what's funny, Smith? Again, you're mentioning that, and people, obviously, because I had a professional career, people say, do you miss it? And there's bits that you naturally cannot replicate unless you're playing in the top game with a full stadium. You know, even the Wembley Cup, it's slightly different because it's not organic, is it? Whatever.
No.
But the one thing that always gets me, because I knock around Mason, you're talking about playing on Sunday. I don't play Sunday morning stuff. I'm never awake. But I have played the odd game in the evening, freezing cold, and it's the banter in the changing room. And it's the same with Sunday League players. You know, same, just finished work, late for work, stuck on the M25, whatever it is. But the actual banter, the winning, losing, the competitiveness, is the same as any Premier League stadium, any Premier League team I've been in. And you just sit there, and it's like, yeah, I get it. Now, age-wise, I can't have the same banter about certain things because music changes, viewing and all that stuff. But it is relatable, and I think what you do is quite amazing, and I appreciate it because seriously, I appreciate it because I don't do it every week. But fortunately, I've done it enough since I've stopped playing football to understand it. I think someone might go once, like you say, Smith, see the fight and go, tell you what, Sunday League football, it's all they do is fight. They've only had one experience of it, whereas if they actually took their time and just casually went down more often, they'd see, hang on a minute, these guys actually enjoy what they're doing, they're competitive. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
And I think it's boosted like the participation as well. Like you must get it all the time. You get emails saying thank you off of your videos. We got into it and started a team. Even if they're not filming, they just like kind of got that love back. They might have played it when they were younger, didn't make it as a footballer, and then that's it. That's their football done. But actually, you can play until you're 30 odd, and then you can go into the vets leagues and carry on. You don't have to be the best footballer in the world to play football, and that's why I think what we've done there is sort of showcase that you can still play football if you don't make it as a professional.
And I think especially with Sunday League football, like the administration behind it and the costs and that can really put people off. Because I remember again, we've been playing Sunday League football for years. We had SE Dons like before 2014, but we only lasted one league because we was getting bookings. People weren't paying their fines, was getting fines from our league, and it's like I remember actually emailing the league back saying this ain't the Premier League. Like, what is this? And it's almost hypocritical because now we're very professional with what we do. I know we're a Sunday League side, but we're very strict with it because we also understand now that we're looked at as role models to younger children. It's like, so for us, being on time is important. Again, I'm coming from a Sunday League background where as long as you're there before kickoff, I'll take it. Do you know what I mean? As long as you're there just get there 5-10 minutes before kickoff, we're good to go. But now we're at a point, look, we're there hour before kickoff. Everything is how you carry yourself as men, the etiquette, how we are on and off the pitch, and we're drumming this in because especially the backgrounds that a lot of us come from is the opposite, man. And it's like the fact, as I keep going back to the fact we can play these teams, Brixton, Peckham, Portland, from Croydon, and all these teams, and it's like Lambeth. Lambeth is a real rivalry. It's a real. We had 600 people at that game. Stormzy came out to watch it. Do you know what I mean? You can't book Stormzy to be anywhere because that's our community is that. It really is a big community, and Sunday League now is a massive part of it. Massive, and like you said, I see a new team on YouTube all the time now, But like I say, good luck to them. It's giving them. I'd rather them be putting their efforts into something like that, learning to edit, learning to communicate with people and everything, as opposed to going putting it elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? So
if it doesn't work out, they've gained.
If it don't work out, it don't work out. You've gained some sort of skills. Do you know what I mean? Exactly.
Yeah. You touched on YouTube teams there. Do you think there's anyone in the scene at the moment that you've watched that could get to the heights of what you are at the moment? Is there anyone out there that you think, they've got something about them that could?
Do you know what? Yeah, honestly, Smith, I think anything is possible for anyone. I'm not trying to be on the fence. That's just my mentality in life. I think we've still got a long way to go. You just asked me, I'm not even on the ladder yet. Do you know what I mean? I've got a lot of work to do. We've got a long way to go as a club and to achieve things. And my thing is I've got like a vision board in my room in front of me here, and I visualize things, I dream big, I think big, and I just keep going. So I reckon anyone can, if you put your mind to something, of course you can. There's no secret. Hard work, dedication and consistency will pay off in some form after some time. If you commit, something will give. So I think anyone can achieve something. And what works for SC Dons might not work for someone else. What works for Palmers might not work for someone else. Do you know what I mean? So I reckon it's not about looking at the Dons and reckon, all right, well, they've got a rapper or they've got these funny guys or they do this, do that. Let's try and emulate that. Don't try and be like us. Find your niche and be you. What's your story? Otherwise, it's just, like you said, it's just a football game. I can watch football on Match of the Day. So you find out if you're going to come and film your games and put something out there as content, I reckon they should try and find a story and work out what it is. But also, as you said, Sunday League, it's not professional football where, as you said, you're changing with people that haven't grown up together. Usually, it doesn't really work in Sunday League football. Do you know what I mean? I think the more tight knit you are, the better your message is going to come across for the viewer. Because you love the club, innit? You haven't just been drafted in.
Yeah, that's it, definitely. Lockdown's been here for the past, it's covered 2 seasons, I guess, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
What's happening in your league at the moment? Has it been null and voided, or are you coming back to a competition, like a shorter competition?
So, fortunately, we're back April the 4th. The season's been extended till the end of June. We've only played 2 games in our league, so we're expecting a lot of double bankers, but that's going to play. The London Cup's still on. We're in the last 16 of that. That's a massive competition. Like the best teams in London. It's a very good standard of competition. We've only ever got to the quarterfinal, so we're confident this year. We was through to the quarterfinal of another cup, but that's been null and voided. So fingers crossed we can continue from April the 4th.
How's it been through lockdown? I think it's a testament to you, because obviously with lockdown, this is now your job, but the thing that earns you the money is the videos and the games that you put out there. How hard has it been? Because you've been very consistent, I've got to say. You've still been putting videos out there. You've been very inventive with what you do.
Yeah.
And I think that's testament, because there's no other teams out there putting Sunday League content or grassroots content out there, because it's not on. So, like I say, testament to you for putting that out and being inventive and still. But I think that just shows how far you've come, because it is your job now. Yeah. All these other teams, they've got other things to do. So you have to make this work, because you know what YouTube's like.
Yeah, exactly.
You fall off for 2-3 weeks, YouTube will bury you.
It's done.
And you've got to start again.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
How's it been? Like, it must have been manic behind the scenes, just kind of trying to find those ideas and be creative.
Yeah, it's been tough, Smiv, let's be honest. You know what I mean? Our bread and butter is Sunday League football. That's what people want. That's what the channel is built on. You know, I could start a podcast every week on my channel, but is that what they want? If I'm consistent with it, I wouldn't get followers of that. But I reckon it's always easier to bring new content to the channel when we're still feeding them what they want. Does that make sense? So I reckon the fact they took away the football from us, our content is football. So they took everything. We were so fortunate that the boys was filming Zach Answer playing his summer street ball. We've been filming cage footballs and stuff that we've had in the locker. And it's like we've had to think outside the box, because we... maybe that's why we've gone so fast, because we put ourselves in a spot where we have to. Does that make sense? I haven't got another job. I need to make content. The views have halved, like completely halved, which we expected. But the fact we're still bringing in 40,000, etc. on an upload, I'll take that. Do you know what I mean? Because I know the second it comes back, hopefully it shoots back up. Do you know what I mean? But it has been tough, because you know what I mean? It's hard, isn't it? Like what are we really putting up? And then I find myself sometimes editing something. It's not really what I want to put out, but it's like, you know what? We've told them that we're trying to show them how we live, and we're not going to make an excuse. Bang, you're going to get your episodes, and you're going to keep getting your episodes, and then hopefully you're loyal enough to stick with us, which they have done. So it's been tough, but
have you felt the pressure as well? Because obviously it's not just you, is it? Obviously you've got Chris to pay. Is there any other? Who's on board with this behind the scenes?
Me. There's 5 of us full time.
Wow.
But Andy Answer is the chairman. He's much more of I would say a mentor. Do you know what I mean? It's not like he's on a payroll or anything. He just a mentor, and he helps us with our business deals. But full time is me, Chris, Big G. We're the 3, so I'd say 3. But there's one more geek. He's like a cameraman, but he's not full time. But I'd like to say that he is, because he really does give us a lot of time. But there's 4 of us. Us 4 are getting paid and need to get paid. So when you've been on YouTube enough to know that when your views half, your income is halved, and it's like, you know what, we can either sit here and panic, but we said, look, we projected like a good 6-7 slow months. It's like, you know what, boys, we just got to stick in there. Do you know what I mean? We've got to stick in there, and we have done, and we're still here.
Getting it. I bet you're buzzing for it to come back. Then
I can't wait. April the 4th.
You mentioned Andy Answer there. He's had a football career, isn't he? Where did he play?
Yeah, he played professionally. He was at Southend United, I think. I don't know if he was I don't think he played Premier League football, but he played for Southend.
The name
Charlton.
rings a bell when you mentioned it.
I was going to say,
Yeah,
did you come across him, DJ? But
he played against. I remember him telling me that the best player he played against was Peter Beardsley, or one of the best players he played against was Peter Beardsley.
Is he an actor?
Andy, yeah, he's been in the whole acting world as well. He runs a big sports on screen company now. You must know him. I'm pretty sure you've come across him somewhere. Black guy, wears big fat glasses.
50s, my age.
50s, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Good guy, really, really good guy, man. He's helped us massively. His son plays for us, Zach. Zach Answer's like one of our best players. Zach Answer, like he's quality, man. But he's done his ACL 3 times. He was at Arsenal, done his ACL at Arsenal. They stuck with him, got back, done it again. Then from there, his career just started going down, and he's seen a real bad side of the game. You know what I mean? And he loves it. And again, things like that for me is such a good thing because he's so good, and the kids love him now, and he just loves playing football now. We've given him that love back. He was hurt by the game. Do you know what I mean? So things like that always feels good.
So am I right in thinking, was he on the bench for Arsenal in the Champions League? Was that right?
Yeah, he was. He was on the bench. I don't know who it was against, but I know that's one of his things. It was that close. He's got England cap. He got England under whatever it was. England under something's cap. He was that close, man. Like we've got pictures of him training with Fabregas and that. But he's such a humble guy as well, Smith. Honestly, like him and Andy.
Yeah, I've seen him on camera.
His dad's extremely successul man. You know what I mean? And like Zach as well. Like, but he's so humble, man. Honestly, he really is. He's such a good person. He could be such. I mean, listen. If I had his footballing ability, people would hate me because I'd take the piece of it. I'd put my knee on top of the ball. I'd chat rubbish to people. He's so humble. Turns up, plays, doesn't get involved in none of the nonsense, and just plays his game.
Yeah. I'm gonna sort of divert to aspirations for Dons, because obviously I've seen many videos where it's like we're a grassroots team and we'll always be a grassroots team, and this is where we want to stay. We want to conquer this scene. This is us. But you've got and you probably see me in other podcasts mention your name and stuff, and it's always come up.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a fan of Dons because, it's lovely to see where you've come from, because Palmers were here and we were the only ones about really, and I love collaborating. So when I met you guys, you was on that like 10K. Since then, it's just gone and through the roof.
It's gone flying, yeah.
I just want to see it go further, and I can't for me. You can disagree, obviously, but for me, like. The platform you have is so community based. It's brilliant. I just think it can go so much further, and I want to ask, like, is semi-pro? Someone actually asked this, by the way. Rashorn, he said, "Do you see SE Dons becoming a semi-pro team?" And I think that's the kind of question. It's like, how long do you go as a Sunday
League side?
Because for Palmers, like, I felt that after season 4, when we started winning things, and then season 5. We've done everything. It's like, well, what now? What do we do? Do you think you're going to get to that point, like where it's like, well, we've won everything now. We can go and defend it. That's cool. But what happens after that? Because do you think people are going to get a bit like, oh, we've seen it now. It's done.
I mean, I think like with the Dons, we're really like Sunday League. We are Sunday League, man, and it's like we put ourselves as we make bold statements, don't we? Do you know what I mean? The Dons, we say we're the kings of Sunday League football. This is our game. We're showing you that Sunday League is our Champions League, and we're here. We're going nowhere. Of course, as you said, in life everything evolves, and we are looking what is next. But semi-professional football is not something we're interested in. The politics of Saturday League football is not something we want to get involved in. I mean, the closest we get to Saturday League football is when we have our cup finals, and we can only have 5 people in a dugout. Only 2 of us can stand up, and it's just like. They kept all our supporters away from us, and it's like, what is this? Do you know what I mean? So, no, we're not interested in semi-professional football. Most of our boys play semi-professional football on a Saturday, and it's just politics. Yeah. But, as I said, you're right in saying, what is next? Of course, it's a question we ask ourselves. What is next? What does happen when we win the London Cup? When we bring 10,000 supporters to a cup final? When we've won everything? What's next? Do you know what I mean? What is next? I reckon it is going in the YouTube League way. It is. I can't deny that. That's where I reckon it's going. And there is a lot of people that we speak to that want to make that happen. It's about, can we make it happen, and will it be right? And then, as you said, when that does happen, what does that mean for Sunday League football? Does that mean SC Dons are walking away from Sunday League football? We don't want to do that. So I can't answer your question, Smith. Do you know what I mean? I really haven't got that answer.
Not the right
all I can guarantee is that consistency and continuing to push boundaries, continuing to champion Sunday League football, continuing to try and win everything and produce fantastic content. And in our communities, the teams are coming up as well. Do you know what I mean? So that also adds to it. Like, if we was winning every single game every week 10-0, yeah, it'd be boring. Do you know? I'd be the first to admit it. But I don't really know. I just know that it's going somewhere, and it's going to rival. It's going to rival the football league. It is.
So,
you know what I mean?
So, with regards to your involvement,
yep.
Which is a good question, Smith. So, let's just say the YouTube league takes off. Dons end up in the YouTube league.
Yeah.
Your commitment to what you're doing at the moment in grassroots football could still continue, but it wouldn't be able to continue with Dons. Would you start again or maintain your grassroots existence and essentially let Dons be whatever it wants to be?
Yeah, so I mean, look, if there's the YouTube league, as you said, that's going to grow to a beast, and which means there'll be a SC Dons YouTube Super League side or whatever you want to call it. Do you know what I mean? I'd like to think that what we could potentially do is we have an X1s team, so we travel across the whole UK. We've raised almost £20,000 in charity last season, traveling all over. Me and my mate. That's like the old school Dons. Like, they're not ballers. We just turn up. We've lost a bunch of games in front of loads of fans. But my point being that there's always something, because if let's just say the Dons went to this YouTube league, we would make sure we have a Sunday League team in place as well. Does that make sense? So we're not going to come away from Sunday League football. SC Dons will always be embodied in Sunday League grassroots football. But where we take the beast, which is SC Dons, where we take that and what boundaries we push that, why should there be a ceiling? Do you know what I mean? It's like, cool, if we can step into this avenue, let's go then. But don't worry, we've still got the Sunday League side here. And then, do you know what I mean? That then provides another option, because by that time, who knows what kind of investments coming in. Just playing for the Dons is going to help these young players. Do you know what I mean? So I'd like to think we don't want to step away from Sunday League football. It's who we are. It's who we are, man, and it's how we've got to where we've got to. So for us to then walk away from Sunday League football because we're too good for it is like, it's nonsense. Do you know what I mean? So we're just going to continue what we're doing.
It's the good thing that you like what we do. It's like you're in control. Do you know what I mean? It's not as if like I guess you're right. Like, if you did go to a semi-pro, you're almost sort of handing the club over to the football ladder, and then you are within the body of that, and you have to act in the way that you obviously do. But like,
exactly.
You're in control. So if you want to have 3 uploads a week, where you have your SC Dons Beast in the YouTube league, that gets uploaded on a Sunday. Everyone that knows, they'll be there. If you want to see your X1s, or like the old school OG ballers, they can be there on a Wednesday. So you're in control, which is the beauty of what we do.
And also Saturday football as well. It would have to be. You have to pay the players, you know what I mean? That's your time, and you've got to pay them well. We've got a lot of boys that play on a Saturday and might be bringing in £250, £300 a week. So how are we going to, it's like, come play for us. It becomes a business as well. But again, as you can say, a Super League Sunday YouTube team, money's going to get involved. You start paying players. This is where politics creeps in. These are everything we have to look at, because if there is a beast like that, why should people not be getting paid? They should be. Do you know what I mean? So again, then it's like you're stepping away from Sunday League football now. So these are all questions that we are having. Don't think we're just going, we're just Sunday League. No, like, behind the scenes, we know what we're doing, do you know what I mean? And we have a lot of important discussions on the table. But
it's a good position to be. I mean, as I say, because it's not that you can't do both. When I mentioned like the monster of YouTube league or whatever, or you staying in grassroots, I mean, you can do both as a person.
Yeah,
just
exactly,
curious, it's nice listening to it, because it's a conversation which, as you both know, wouldn't have been had 4 years ago.
Of course. Exactly. Yeah, it's true.
It's almost like, I'm trying to think of an analogy here, and I can't think of a decorating one. I tell you what, it's like a cooking one where you put some of the raw leftover ingredients into the garden, and all of a sudden you've got this wonderful plant growing, and you sort of think, hang on a minute, I've got something good here, which I didn't expect. Maybe that's the wrong analogy, but
that's quite a good one. It's quite a good one, actually. Yeah.
I'm taking that.
Well, it's something you do every day, isn't it? So yeah,
we're just a bunch of plants, Smith. We're a bunch of plants.
We're gonna talk Don's teammates. You've probably seen these sort of segments before, but I want to ask some random questions. Who would most likely win the Royal Rumble at Don's? You got a couple in there. Big G, yeah?
Yeah, I reckon Big G, man. Or Doug.
I was going to say Doug.
Yeah, I reckon Big G or Doug. Possibly Doug. He just come and lean on everyone. So yeah, I'll give it to Doug.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Big G and Doug at the end. Yeah.
At the end, yeah.
Last two. Climbing up the ladder.
Have you come across Big G, DJ? I don't know. You probably have, but you don't know. He's goalkeeper. One of the most famous Sunday League goalkeeper, if not the most famous Sunday League goalkeeper out there. He's a character.
He's our captain. Yeah, he's on Soccer AM now as well.
Yeah.
Every couple of weeks. Yeah, man. Proper character.
Oh, is he the keeper in goal?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have seen him then, yeah.
Yeah, you definitely have seen him.
I was on Soccer AM a couple of months ago, but the weather was too bad, so there was no goalie. They'd been the outdoor bit, so...
All right, yeah.
That's where he's at. My next question is, if one of the Dons left to start their own YouTube channel, no help from you, no promotion, who do you think would be the most successful? Who do you think, who's got that?
If one of the Dons left, who's got that about them? So I can't say myself, Big G or Chris.
Nah.
Because us three are cool.
They can't
apart
get
from us
to the
three,
camera.
Yeah, who would... What do you think? It's a good question, you know. I don't know who's as crazy as us three to even spend this amount of time trying to build something up. It's a good one. You've kind of started me, yeah? Who can I think? Someone who's got complete dedication. Oh, God. I don't even know.
What do you think? You give me an idea for a question there, and you don't have to say.
Yeah.
You said crazy enough to dedicate all this time to it, and obviously you're all full-time now. How long did it take for you to see some money come in? Was it?
Oh man, I remember when we've got our first payment from YouTube, and it was I think it was £35, and me and Chris was over the moon.
Yeah.
We celebrated. I said, "My mum, look, I've just made 35 quid," and I think it was about a year in. Must have been about a year in, maybe. But I think I had a few things come up in terms of shoots. I think I remember getting booked for a Predator shoot with Adidas. And I got like a little bit of money for that. And I thought, this is sick. And that was the first time I kind of got... That was kind of through the Dons. It wasn't really just music. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was kind of related with the Dons because of me and Big G came. But I reckon, it took us about a year, Smiv, you know. And again, like I said, that was £35. And then... Yeah. Then gradually, every month it was £35. Then it was slowly getting up. Do you know what I mean?
You're thinking, hang on here, we can get some new balls.
Yeah, what's going on here? Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that's what we used it on. I think we used I think we saved it up. Like 3 months worth came to about £90 or £100. And I remember we got a whole bunch of new shorts or something. We put it straight back into the club. Yeah.
That's sick. I think it took me probably about a year and a half to see some sort of... Because there's a threshold as well. You have to hit $100 to get paid.
I think ours was... I think our threshold was like £60 or £65 or something. We had to hit that threshold. Yeah. And some months it would come up just short, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, have you thought of the next Dong's YouTube? Who's going to break out and become a successful YouTuber? Can you think?
Maybe RP7.
I was going to say
maybe Ryan Palmer. Yeah, because he likes all that social media stuff, so I reckon he'd be up
being
to
like a TikTok star or something like that.
He's one of them, Smith, man. Honestly, he gets it from all of us. Hashtags, anything online, he's involved. So possibly Ryan Palmer, but he's like yourself, you know. He's got a daughter, my niece. He's married to my sister, so his daughter's my niece, and he's got a little one on the way as well. I think Amelie. How old's your little one, Smith?
She's 2.5.
Yeah, same as Amelie. And then he's got a son on the way, due April.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so we're pretty much...
So it's pretty similar to you. So, and that's I say it to Ryan all the time because he's a family man as well. Do you know what I mean? Credit to him. That's a tough job being with a family all the time. So I reckon it's hard for him to do both. Do you know what I mean? So I reckon if he didn't have the family and that, maybe he could give it a go.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This is a nod to Utilita here because I blab about this in every single on the road video. But who would most likely save £80 a year by turning the heating down by 1 degree?
Mitchell Elliott, the crook. Mitchell. Yeah. He's the tightest man I know. Honestly, yeah. You let him borrow your ketchup. He uses the ketchup, so I'll buy a new one. He'll go and get the cheap one. It won't be the Heinz one. It will be Beck's one. I remember he stopped buying Uncle Ben's rice and started getting rice from somewhere else like 30p cheaper or something. Yeah, that's Mitchell all day long.
Yeah, I mean, it's a thing. Like, you can save a lot of money by simply just turning the lights off, or any energy efficient guys at Don's. Switch the lights off in the change room.
Look, to be fair, I'm pretty like that myself. Actually, when I come out of the room, I make sure I turn it off. I turn off the switch. But I reckon Mitchell is the more. He's over the top with it.
That's good. No, it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
And if it was down to him, I reckon he would just live on candlelight. I reckon if it was down to him, he'd just turn the candles on.
There's nothing wrong with
We've
that.
lived like that a few times. Like we moved into this electric. We had to get the electrics all rewired. We jumping on the DIY thing again, but so annoying because like you spend all that money on like rewiring, then people come round. It's like, oh, check out my lights, but you can't. No one can see like all the work that's gone in. So frustrating.
Yeah.
Like if I've got any advice, don't get on the ladder, mate, because it's just like a money pit.
Yeah.
Don't do it. Just stay with the sister. You'll be well.
Yeah.
Last one around. So you're on the £1 million question. Who wants to be a millionaire? You don't know the answer. Cool. You have to phone a friend.
Yeah.
Who you calling?
Yeah. From the Dons. You know what? I think Chris, the cameraman Chris.
Chris, yeah.
He's got a very weird general knowledge. Yeah, his general knowledge is really good.
Okay.
It's really good.
Have you got your phone with you?
So I think Chris. Yeah.
Right. So
I have.
Utilita are going to give a little bit of money to charity if you phone Chris right now, and Chris gets the question right. Okay.
All right.
See if we get this.
Cool.
Have we got another question?
Yeah, we have. We can't keep saying what's the capital of Iceland. I think that's too easy. Do you know that, by the way?
Capital of Iceland, not. Chris. Quick one, yeah. I got you on loudspeaker. I'm doing this podcast with Smiv and David James, yeah. They're doing that some sort of who wants to be a millionaire thing, and they've told me who would I ring from the Dons if I had to get the question right, and I said you in it. I said you got quite a decent general knowledge, so I think they're going to give me a question which I'm going to ask you now, and you see if you get it right. If you do get it right, they earn some money for charity.
Yeah, and it could be your choice wherever it goes. If you've got charity that you want to, we'll
and it can be your choice as well, Chris. The charity of your choice.
So,
he's locked in, Smith.
By the way, this is
because I got them in the headphones, Chris. So you probably can't hear them, but they can hear you, I think. But yeah,
Utilita, a very successful company. They will be actually giving £1 million to your charity. So, like, genuinely.
Are you joking?
No, I'm not joking.
Genuine?
I am joking. I'm joking.
I was thinking, hang on a minute, Smith, what's going on here?
What's going on here? Yeah.
Behind the scenes, they're like,
trying to get myself on this every week, David. You know?
Drew, phone me up.
I've got the question. I've got the question. So, ready? Who painted the Mona Lisa?
All right, Chris. Who painted the Mona Lisa?
Mona Lisa?
Yeah.
I think it was Leonardo da Vinci.
He's gone for Leonardo da Vinci, Smith.
Okay. DJ, you're an artist, aren't you? You should know this too.
I am.
It's not.
Do you know the answer to this?
That is the answer.
He's done it. He's done it. Correct.
Was it, Dave?
Yeah. Leonardo da Vinci.
Is that
he
the
knows
answer?
his stuff. Yeah.
Hey, Chris, you're right, you know. That's mad. Yeah, that's what I told you. Smith, are you serious? He's right.
Yeah, no, he's right. Yeah, definitely.
Wow. That's mad.
Chris has got his name now.
That's what I said. That's why I said I'd ring Chris. I wouldn't know that answer.
Yeah, so...
yeah, Chris, you're right, you know. You're right, bro.
Yeah, man. Have a little think. Have a little think. If you've got like a charity, just let me know and I'll pass it on to the guys and they'll get it.
Yeah, cool. I'll have a chat with him afterwards, Smith, and I'll let you know that.
Definitely.
Chris, cool, bro. I'll give you a shout in a bit.
Yeah,
Alright, cool, bro. Yeah.
Well done, Chris.
Bloody hell! I told you, he's got some weird sort of. And I know he didn't Google that. That was a straight kind of answer.
He just knew.
Yeah.
We're going to do another little quick segment with you. Called it Football Freeze. Okay. So in your time in football, your phone has been wiped, but you can keep 3 numbers in and around football and the game that you've sort of lived in. Who are you keeping on your phone? Obviously, Chris, because obviously he gets those general knowledge questions.
Yeah, Chris has just earned his place on your phone.
Yeah, I better throw Chris in there and Big G, because he's not just because I work with him. He's my best friend, but he's a goalkeeper, so it's always handy to have a goalkeeper as your mate. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Nice.
David James.
So you never mind's going in goal.
If I've got 3 numbers, DJ's in mine. I'm like, yeah, I've got these.
There you go. You got yourself a keeper. Yeah. Always saves the hassle of having to do switching over.
That's it.
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
So you got Chris, Big G. Anyone else? It can be a professional footballer. It can be anyone. It can be anyone.
Professional.
In the football scene.
Professional.
Well, it doesn't have to be. Whatever you want, mate. Whatever you want.
So what? Just within the football scene.
Within your football scene, or anyone you've met or come across, or anyone that's in your phone book, more importantly.
Let me take away. I'll take them to away. I'll go outside of the Dons and my immediate friendship circle. I'd say Declan Rice, because we've built quite a good relationship. So I'll keep Declan's number, and Andy Cole, because he was a legend that I grew up on, and to meet him was a big deal. So I'll keep Andy.
I haven't actually watched that one, but did he want to be called Andrew, or was he all right with Andy?
No, apparently that's all. Apparently that's nonsense. I asked him that, but he said it's all nonsense.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Be called Andrew.
Yeah, I heard something that Andy Cole
yeah.
doesn't like being called Andy Cole. He wants to be called Andrew, but if it's nonsense, then I've learnt something. I'm happy. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I don't think Andrew was ever mentioned in the changing room.
No?
Yeah.
It was always Coley.
Yeah.
Coley.
Yeah.
So Declan Rice, Andy Cole, and was there one more, did you say?
Off the top of my head, Junior Stanislas. He's from Ferrier Estate. He's around the corner from me, so I'll keep his number in there.
Did you grow up with him, or was it sort of like someone you knew?
Not personally with him, but like drops and that they're all from the same estate as him. So I grew up with his people.
Okay.
So kind of I know him through people, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So,
yeah. The next football free is memories. So your brain's been wiped, but you can remember 3 things in your career so far. What are you going to have?
Is it away from the Dons or not?
Anything you want, mate.
Because if
anything you want. In and around football,
cool,
so whether it's Dons or whatever.
Drew, you got to imagine.
Cool, so,
you got to imagine the scene. So you've woken up like Tom Hanks on this island.
Yeah.
You've got a mobile phone in your hand with 3 numbers and 3 memories.
3 memories.
At a football.
3 memories. Yeah. You know what? Honestly, it would be the 3 cup finals for SC Dons. Yeah. If I'm honest, that's what it would be, because that was serious memories. If I could cheat, I'd throw in the treble winning Man United as a bonus. But other than that, it would be the 3 Dons Cup finals.
I've got a question actually. Someone called Matthew Watson came up with, would you prefer to win the treble for Man United or with the Dons?
With the Dons all day long.
Yeah. Just affirm that. Yeah. I know you're showing your passion towards the Dons at the beginning. I pretty much was sure that was going to be answered, but you brought it up there, so I was like, better find out.
Yeah.
Better find out.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about you, Smith? With Palmer's or Tottenham? So I know you're still in amongst it with Tottenham. Yeah,
mate. I love Tottenham. I've been a Spurs fan since day dot. But since Palmer's came along, then obviously I mentioned the greatest day, so I would definitely have Palmer's Essex Cup final for sure. But then I would also have Palmer's winning the league in the very last minute and getting.
That was outstanding.
That was what kicked it off for us. I think everyone was like,
yeah.
So those 2. But then if I had to choose a Tottenham memory, I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
But last time you won a cup.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been too long. But my the first time I got like those butterflies and that feeling of like we've won something was when Alan Nilsson diving header into the back of the net against Leicester in the was it Carling Cup final way back when, and I was like, we've won something. Like, this is amazing. I didn't know how that felt. So that feeling was great, and then obviously Jonathan Woodgate.
But you've had some great players to watch though, like David Ginola,
we have
Klinsmann,
definitely
all them lot. Do you know what I mean? Some serious players.
Yeah. If there had to be a Tottenham one, and it's a shame that like we didn't win the Champions League final, but that semi-final against Ajax was something like that. Yeah, just to know that we were going to the Champions League final. I know it's like, oh, that's how big your club is. You didn't even win it, but if your best memory is, but the moment, if you could bottle up moments in football, do you know what I mean? Just those few seconds, like you take that all day long.
Yeah.
So probably the Lucas Moura moment, just when it went in, that's unreal. It was funny because we went to Crete, so we were well out of that tie against Ajax. and the missus were like, it's been too long since we've been on holiday. We can take Mia. She's free to go. So it's like, yeah, let's do it. We went to Crete. It was quite a nice place actually, because like we went on Instagram and all these like Instagram models were there taking photos. I was like, oh, good, it's quite a well-to-do place. Then we didn't even know. We just booked it up. Anyway, Spurs are out. Yeah. We know. Well, I know they're out, and we're in this little jacuzzi. And I was like, my phone's popping off. I'm like, hang on, we're back in the game here. Something's going on. The comeback. She's gone to bed, and I'm just stayed in this jacuzzi, like watching like on like a 3G signal. The Wi-Fi is terrible, and it's just like. And it's just you see it, and it's just like, oh, unreal scenes. Woke up
crazy,
result, but mad. Okay, so we've got 3 memories from you. 3 physical items that you've picked up in your time. So I guess you could pick up the medals. Is there a pair of boots that you would want to keep? Is there a shirt? Is there a program? Anything throughout football that you'd want to sort of hang on to? Yeah.
The first cup that I lifted for SC Dons. The first cup, I'm looking at it now. I've got the big picture on the wall in my room. That meant a lot for many reasons. I just lost my mum at the time, that 2 weeks before that, so it was such a big deal to win that cup. So I'd take that one. For her, that was really, she was the fighting force behind it. So winning that, I got a boxing medal when I used to box when I was younger.
Okay.
I just it was only when I was like 10 years old, but any girl that I meet, I've got a girl now, but before that, any girl I meet, I'd make it bigger than it was anyway. But I keep that just so I can show people that I did used to know how to fight. So 1, 2, another one, and I think I've got a top goal scorer for my team, Sid Cup boys, when I was 2 years in a row, under 10s and under 11s. I was top goal scorer 2 years in a row. I got some sick kind of glass medal with my name on it, and they spelt my name wrong. My name's Andrew McHugh, and they spelt it wrong. They spelt it McHuge. And I've still got it to this day.
That's the thing. We all laugh at that, but that is so special to you, because I could tell you exactly the same thing.
Definitely.
And I know it's going to be really weird, but I was my primary school table tennis champion. And I'm still buzzing over that. I think that's a sick thing.
Yeah.
And I was the doubles runner-up. I hated my partner. Like, he let me down in that one, but he could have been like doubles winner. I get you. Like those things that they shape you for when you're older as well. And I
think, definitely.
It's funny you say that. I've got my first trophy from Welling Pegasus. First ever trophy. It was
special. It's special, those things.
I think it was the most improved player. The coach. But the
most
thing
improved.
is, it had nothing on it. So I literally went home, got a knife, and tried to scribble something worth. Oh man.
Yeah.
But I love that. That's very important.
Yeah.
Not just for Dons. It's great to have grassroots back. Why do you think it's so important for everyone? Because obviously you've got something to look forward to, because you can get your job back on go. But obviously you're going to see your mates as well. But like, for the everyday guy that plays Sunday League, why do you think it's so important?
I think it's so important for everyone's mental health and well-being, Smiv, because as I said, it's the game we love. Forget me for a second with everything that's going on with the Dons. Just take your average man who plays Sunday League football. It's his escape. It's his time to see his mates. A lot of them are family men. They're at home with their missus all week with the kids. They get to go see the boys. It's also a release of aggression, believe it or not. Do you know what I mean? A lot of men, we have that in us, and it's like you get to compete for 90 minutes and forget about all your stresses, all your debts, all your bills. For 90 minutes, you're competing, and it's like it does so much. Because listen, lockdown's been starting to get to me. Like, it got to the point I was like, listen, hey, this is starting to get to me now, man. Like, on a real, I need to get back out there. I want to compete. I ended up buying swing ball and playing the game of swing ball with my friend because I just wanted to flip and beat him. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think it does so much for people's mental health, and I think people don't understand that. I think if you haven't grown up around grassroots football, or you're not really involved in that community, it's so easy to look down on it. Do you know what I mean? Without realising what it does for everyone. It really does a massive thing for people, especially, like I said, people that don't really have a lot going on in life, possibly. Maybe they don't like their job, maybe they hate their job Monday to Friday, and it's like, their Sunday is that to be with the boys and just
release, isn't it?
Be who you want to be. Yeah, release, isn't it? You can go home and you've let out yourself and you're back. I think it does a lot for people's mental well-being.
I put out on the socials, you probably saw as well, like sort of I said, ask some questions. We had one from a guy called Jay Verse. He says, how has his life evolved since starting SC Don's channel? What's different now to before the channel grew in terms of work life and personal life?
Yeah. Thank you, man. No, massively, man. I've got a direction and something to focus on. I was a bit of a lost cause before it. Do you know what I mean? I was trying to figure out where I wanted to go in my life, what I was doing, where I was going to end up. Music wasn't working, but I always wanted to do something. I always had an ambition to do something. I just didn't know what it was. I started a coaching company with Ryan Palmer. Was doing soccer Saturday schools and coaching within our community and stuff. But now with the Dons, I have like a purpose. Do you know what I mean? And it's like I've got something to do Monday to Friday. I'm fortunate, especially in this pandemic. Even though we've been heavily hit, I have something to do. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, man. I'm just grateful for all the things that are coming from it, all the opportunities that come and the deals that come our way and opportunities. You know, I managed to. JD Sports flew me out to Madison Square Garden to watch the Anthony Joshua fight. Do you know what I mean? It's like I was sitting there thinking. I'm looking to my right and left. I'm seeing like proper YouTubers, the whole hey guys, all that stuff, and it's like I'm just a normal guy. I'm thinking, how have I ended up here? What I film my boys on a Sunday. Yeah. So I'm just grateful for all of that.
It's crazy, like the opportunities that come from it that you don't expect.
Do you know what I mean? Honestly,
it's mad.
Honestly.
Had another one from Brendan. I've met Brendan actually. And the photo that he's got there is actually from one of my videos. Good, big Pompey fan down there. He says whatever happened.
Pompey.
Pompey, yeah. Whatever happened to FC Cortez? Obviously, this is from the first final, right? Just explain it to David what happened in this final, because you've gone back and forth with this team, right?
Yeah, FC Cortez, Dave. Earlier on in the season in the league, they beat us 3-1 in the league. And they let us know about it as well. Like they're a Turkish team, good team, but they really let us know about it. So listen, we were the Dons. I'm not going to play us down. We came in the game rowdy, making a lot of noise. We made more noise. We was better with our mouths than we were with our feet at the time. But we was coming into it. We was starting to sign some of our friends that were proper ballers. You know what I mean? And was becoming sick. Anyway, they beat us 3-1, jumping around in front of our face, all this nonsense. But we held it because we've done it. Got to the cup final, and we just destroyed them 7-0. And it was for us. There was like 7. I think it was about 700 people there. But for us, it was like that was our first experience of a big crowd, because we used to get like 20, 30 people, not including our like family and friends. There'll be like 20, 30 people that will come on a Sunday morning, but we got like 700 people, and it was a 7-0 onslaught. We absolutely turned them over. We destroyed them. They folded now, to answer the question. Really? They folded last season.
After. Oh.
And before that cup final, they was on there because I saw their Facebook, because someone sent me the screenshot. They was like, all right, make sure you come out and watch us turn over these bunch of idiots. All they do is make like proper like bad mouthing us. Like, and I don't think we do that. The Dons, like I know we're not angels, but we get into the whole Twitter and downplaying people and all this nonsense. And plus, we had Ryan Palmer, who was a contracted player to Hive Town, who was playing in the Ryman South. But we didn't know that meant he couldn't play on a Sunday. But obviously, what we do know now is if you're a contracted player, you can't play Sunday football because it's amateur football. So he was contracted, and we beat them 7-0. And they were such sore losers. Listen, we play against teams all the time, and we know they got ringers and the contracted players, but we would never do that. Like we're not snitch on them for what? Like they brought him out to play. I don't really care. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway, they contacted the FA. We got a fine, and technically we got the cup taken away from us. Technically, the league removed it from us. So that's why it was such a bitter. After that, it was like, you lot are you that, like, what did you gain from that? Do you know what I mean? What did you gain from getting us fined and all that stuff just because we destroyed you 7-0? But the video's on 1.5 million views.
Crazy. So that
yeah,
cup
man,
got replayed as a final, but them versus a
got
different
replayed,
team, right?
Yeah, and they still lost. Yeah, they lost. Yeah.
Did you go to it?
Yeah, man. Nah, man, I thought you jokers. It's ridiculous, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Yeah. No, that's
yeah.
So who, in your time as a Dons, who is the best team that you've played? You've come across. You've gone, wow, these are serious.
Best team we've ever played. I would say at the time, they're not anymore, but was Kenningwell in a cup final 2 years ago. We beat them 2-1, and we played them 5 times that year because we played them twice in the league, and twice in 4 times, 4 or 5, I can't remember. About a good number of times. So we played them twice and played them in cup competitions. And they were really good. Like, I went into that cup final, I wasn't even sure, if I'm honest, because I thought they were better than us at the time, but we just had that spirit. And we had the 12th man. It was 95% SC Dons fans, and we beat them. But they were the best team to this date that I reckon we've played. Although Rising Ballers, they destroyed us 2-0 in pre-season. They were really good. They were really good. But we came into that one, we wasn't ready, man. We had a few defensive issues, and we really played into their hands. It was just like they beat us. But I reckon Kenningwell was the best team we've played.
So David, Rising Ballers is another sort of, if you want to call it, another YouTube team, and it's good. Like Palmer's we've got our angle, like we're that dog and duck pub side. Dons have like a new breed of like a new Sunday League side, but Rising Ballers have got another angle, haven't they? Do you want to quickly explain what they do?
Rising Ballers, they're like they take young lads and they're basically like a young academy side. Okay. All their players go play professional elsewhere. Like they play Rising Ballers for 6 or 7 weeks, and then they got quite a good angle. They push them on. Do you know what I mean? So they're good side. They're good side. But they got knocked out of the London Cup, the cup that we're in at the moment. Because I was hoping to get them, Smiv, because I knew if we get them in a Sunday League circumstance, we'll beat them. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, they got knocked out, unfortunately, so we're not about to get our revenge.
Damn it.
But my point being, that's the thing. My point being, technically, they're quality. They're young pros. A lot of them are going to go on to be professional footballers. Yeah. But they got beaten by M-Boys. M-Boys is from near us, Streatham.
Okay.
And then, listen, I know Morgs and M-Boys, they're just a bang average Sunday League side, but they went there and just bullied them. They just bullied them, do you know what I mean? Bad tackles and all that nonsense. You can say it was bad, but they won the game, man. They done what they had to do, and they knocked them out of the London Cup.
Decent. And last question is from Scott Parker. The Scott Parker. It's not, actually.
Are you joking?
No, it's not.
You got me twice.
That's 2-0.
Get on it.
That is 2-0.
Yeah, 2-0.
Really?
Damn. Yeah.
I don't like the title. Dan's going to title it out. Dom Strapzy, the most gullible person we've had on.
Yeah. Bloody hell. £1 million giveaway and Scott Parker question for me. Yeah.
Scott Parker was going to deliver it to you personally.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
Have you seen the Streets thing that they do after an interview?
Nah.
Oh, you got to look it up.
Nah.
After this, look it up. Scott Parker, the Streets. It's fantastic. Honestly.
Okay.
Not the real Scott Parker. Scotty P. It says. Yes, it's just. He said most complete player to ever wear the SC Don shirt. Who's the most all-round complete?
Oh. I got two in my head. It's Zach Ansah and Jack Samutis. Jack Samutis, Jack Aldinho, we call him. He's just come back from his ACL. He's been out for 12 months. He is outstanding. He's outstanding. He's got caps for Cyprus under 21s. Another guy that was in the pro game and fell out of it. But he's quality, man. We've suffered without him. But if I have to choose one, I'm probably going to go Jack Samutis.
Okay. Has he played sort of semi-pro, or does he play semi-pro at all?
Yeah, he played pro. He was playing pro in Cyprus. Came back. He got released from Millwall at a young age. I think just before the pro playing. But then he plays semi-pro. He's always playing somewhere on a Saturday. He done his ACL playing for Cray Valley. They're the team who got to I think it was round 2 or round 3 of the FA Cup this year.
Okay.
I think it was round 2 or 3. They got knocked out by Havant. I can't remember. I think it's Havant or Waterville or something. I can't remember. But yeah, he was playing for them. But he done his ACL, unfortunately. Yeah.
Well, I think we're going to end it there, mate, because it's getting late. I've got a little daughter that's going to get up early, and she's going to wake me up.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, thank you so much for joining myself and former England goalkeeper and Premier League striker.
Yeah, man.
And Premier League striker.
Yeah.
And Premier League striker. Do you remember that?
Thank you for having me. Yeah.
Sick.
Yeah, man. Sick. Thanks for having me, Smiv, man, and pleasure to meet you as well, David James, man.